in this session we are using all the components that you have developed in the previous example, and only the generator class will be modified. So I have written a new generator class in a new file, generator_sequence.svh, and that is included instead of the generator.svh in the main program. So we'll look at the generator.svh file. So class name is same as command generator, so there is no need to change any other env components. The only change is in the run task. If you see the previous run task in the previous generator, it was just listing out the command generation one by one and calling in a loop. So in the new command generator sequence, instead of listing out them one by one, I have used a run sequence Systemverilog keyword to generate a random transaction sequence. So here the random sequence is again called within a loop. So this run sequence will be called 10 times, and every time this run sequence is executed, a different type of sequence will be randomly generated. So look at the run sequence statement. Here the production name is all_cmd, and again the production all command is calling or choosing any of the three productions. It's either a CPU command production or a memory command production, or it will first call the CPU command and memory command. So the CPU command production will choose one of the CPU command, and the memory command production will choose one of the memory command productions. Finally, in individual productions, I am calling a task to generate that particular transaction. So if you see the production named nope, it's calling a task called g_nope. So this task implementation is again here in the same class. The task g_nope, there is a declaration of the CPU nope, and the nope is created, randomized, and it is put into the mailbox. The same way all the other tasks g_add, g_sub, and g_my, it will produce the respective commands, print them, and put into the mailbox. So again, coming back to the run sequence, you can increase the complexity of random choice by adding more productions here. So for example, in the CPU command production, I have listed a choice between nope, add, sub, which are the productions which is ending here, or it's a choice between nope and add followed by a sub. Again, you can add one more production saying sub followed by nope, and all the combinations you can put, or it can be a combination of choosing all three commands. In the same way, the production mem command is a choice between either a single command or all the four commands in this order, like mem wait, load, store, and copy. Or you can put any random combination of 3 or 2, or you can even change the order of this in the last production. So everything will result in different sequence generation every time the run sequence is called. If you compare this new command generated with the previous one, you can see that in the previous one, it was all this command sequence was in a predefined order. All the time when this loop is executed, first a nope is generated, next an add is generated, next a load register is generated, and next a copy is generated. So it's in a predefined manner. But in the new one, when you use the run sequence, you are able to produce a random sequence of transaction by simple Systemverilog code. Thus, run sequence is creating random scenarios to your test bench. Now when I run this code and see the simulation log file, so you can see that the final output, there is no predefined order. First a mem wait is generated, then a CPU nope, CPU add, then mem load, mem wait, again another mem load. So there is no connection between these transactions. When we are comparing the previous simulation, it was always in a predefined order which we have listed in the generated, but here the order of the transaction itself is getting randomized, and we were able to produce a random sequence of transactions.